Uncle Bill here from DEADPIT Radio, and tonight I feel like I'm going to make a lot of basic bitches upset. So, today was D-Day for me because the Nightmare on Elm Street 4K Steelbook collection got delivered. And I'm going to be honest with everybody, I've been really quiet about this until this got here because a lot of people are going on about how this edition doesn't look that good and how they're fine with the basic bitch edition of this. And I've kind of been listening to all this, and I haven't been saying anything. I just kind of let people say whatever they've been saying. But honestly, that basic edition looks like shit to me. If I'm being 100% honest, and I know that a lot of people bought that edition, and I know that like it doesn't really matter what the packaging looks like as long as you get the movies. But let's be real here. That friggin' basic edition looks like, you remember when you had you remember Virtual Boy and you could play like virtual tennis on it, the color scheme of it? That's what that looks like. It's like red on top of red overlaid with fucking faded red. It's the one of the most hideous editions I've seen. But so I've let that slide because everybody's been like, oh, I'm fine with this. Fine. Okay. So the truth of the matter is most people are fine with that because they didn't get the Steelbook edition. And that's just what it boils down to. I'm sorry. Like they either missed out and it sold out or like whatever the reason is, but there ain't no way in this world that anybody actually thinks that edition is better than this edition that I'm getting ready to show you. After seeing this up close, like it actually happened, there's no way, man. Like you can say whatever you want to, but like this is the edition of this to have. I'm not a big fan of steelbooks anymore either, because I was saying before, and I stand by this. They're too easily damaged. You can't keep them from getting scratched or bent or scuffed or something like that. There's just way too many variables that go into it. If you collect stuff, there's nothing worse in the world than having steel books because they're almost impossible to maintain. That being said, um, I wish that this would have just been a regular set of 4Ks. If they had done this packaging this way, and I'll show you a couple other things about this edition that I think they could have done a little bit better too, if they would actually been like thinking about it. But if this had just been basic 4Ks, this set would have been perfect. It would have been almost perfect. So I'm going to go through the different. I'll show you the whole thing first, and then we'll go through each individual steel book. I've got the uncut version of Part 5 playing in the background right now. So let's go through some of this. I'm in the spirit of it. I don't even like Nightmare on Elm Street that much. So here we go. So when you get this sucker in, um, this is how it comes. This is the box. So the box itself is just like a metal, you know, I don't know how a metal box set. I'm not sure what exactly it's made out of, but it's got like the embossed like tears that are raised from his sweater, and this part is embossed of his collar right here too. And then when you turn it around, like that has got some like tears in it that are overly embossed on the set as well. So I think that that's really awesome, and a really cool part that they did too is they put like Nightmare on Elm Street at the top, the classic logo and everything on here too. So I don't know again why people complain about this, but when you open this, it houses the steel books like this. I really don't understand why this is a problem. Um, I mean, this is not a big box set. Like everybody's going on about, oh, it's huge and like, what would you do with it? Like it's really not that much bigger than any of the other ones that Scream Factory put out, like the Halloween set or the Friday 13th set. It's about the same size. Now, one really cool thing that they did, uh, when we actually get into this too, is they numbered each one of them at the top as well, with like the way that, you see the Freddy does the numbering and stuff too. So I'll show you here in a second. So take a look at the individual steelbooks themselves. So this is part 1. These are all, see, this is a new thing they've been doing, and thank God too, because I like this so much better than the old steel books that like Screen Factory used to do, with the really glossy, overly like glossy kind of like finish. These are all matte, just like the I'll show you here the comparison. The Night of the Living Dead steelbook is one of my favorites. And so that's matte too. Like, kind of, there's no gloss to it. You can see that as I'm holding it up, it doesn't have any gloss. As does, this is kind of the same thing. And they kept the original poster art for the covers, which is awesome. So yeah, you can see on here, they've got that on the front. When you open it up, it's got, you can't have my digital codes, bulls. I'm sorry, but I'm sure I'll have to give those away to somebody here soon. I got a certificate of authenticity. This is 4,000. I'm sorry, this is 433 of 15,000. So that's nice. There's that. Once you take the discs out, you also get like an image from the film. In this case, it's the boiler room, which makes sense. So, I mean, man, you can say whatever you want to, but that's fucking killer. Like, look at that. Like, I'm not entirely sure, like, what else would you want from a Nightmare on Elm Street release? So see at the top there, it's like a scratch down one. So that will be a theme moving forward here. So then you got part 2. Look at that. That, seriously, that's amazing. I'm not sure that this really even does it justice, but that is outstanding in terms of the look. That's probably one of the best steel books I've ever seen in terms of the artwork, the way that it's like, the glove is kind of like shiny and all the rest of it is like kind of matte. People are nuts, man, for not getting this. Honest to God, like, this is, I don't mark out a lot anymore for things, but I am for this. So I'm going to talk about all the special features on these different discs at the end of this. So stay tuned for that. But this is just kind of showcasing the actual packaging. So when you open this one up, you got like the Mark Patton, the classic image of him with the glove. And this is not a thing where like it takes any kind of like skill to get these back in there either. Like, they fit perfectly in there. God, that is outstanding too. This has been one of my favorites over the years, and I love this poster art, and that's it right there. That is it. And you got the welcome to prime time on the back there. So you see at the top, like, it's got the 3 scratches at the top. That's really cool addition to this. And you open this one up. It's got Freddy just kind of hanging around there. And there was another edition of this. This edition was on Amazon. I think I bought this the first day that anybody told me that it was up for pre-order. And it was $160 because I saved like $8 by ordering it so early or something like that. So it was $160, which is Right now, anywhere between 50 or $60 more than that regular edition. If you didn't buy it on Grubhub or whatever the hell everybody bought it on, like that was in the chat, it's well worth 50 or 60 more dollars. Um, Part 4, which is fucking killer. Look at that. So you can see the parts that are highlighted that are kind of like glossy, or the claws at the bottom and at the top, which just really like makes this image stand out so much better. It's almost like a work of art. Like you see it like probably, this is the original painting before it was turned into a poster or anything. So again, this is not my favorite image though. This is I don't know why they chose to pick this image, but they picked the image of I believe like Tuesday night. It's just a weird face shot from like part of her nightmare on the in this. I don't know why they chose that. They could have chose this, which is the inside, which is amazing. It's the meatball from the Soul Pizza. Well, you got that. So that's part 4. Part 5, like I said, I'm watching that currently, the uncut edition. We're going to get into the picture quality and the special features and all that because that's something else to talk about too. So part 5, I've never been a huge fan of the cover art for this, but if you are, I mean, it's outstanding too. Look at that. The back is even, it actually might be more killer because it's a little Freddy kid. I don't know if you can see it that well, but he's just kind of like hanging around going, "What's going on, Pops?" There's the inside of that one. Freddy's dead. Freddy's dead. This one's awesome as well. That's just a badass cover, man. Good God. You got Alice Cooper on the back too as an added bonus. CHH will love that. I'm hoping that he got this one. I'm assuming he probably did. Yeah. So this one actually comes too with the 3D glasses. They're basic 3D glasses, kind of. Those never work in these, but it's a cool addition. Like anytime I've ever tried to watch anything like 3D, and maybe it works better in 4K. I don't know. It never does. It never did well in like Blu-ray. And then finally, it's probably sadly my least favorite of this whole thing. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Um, but if you like that movie, that's a badass image. Oh no, it's got the Demon Freddy thing. Oh, that's one of my least favorite parts of the movie too. Ugh. A retread of the classic phone scene there. So something to note too about these Blu-rays. Nothing on this was damaged whatsoever. So none of the steelbooks are scratched, scuffed. I don't know how, but none of them are dented, scratched, or anything. Neither is the outer box. However, I can tell by looking at this damn thing that it's going to be almost near impossible to keep something from happening to it. But if it doesn't matter to everybody, like everybody says, like if the packaging doesn't matter, then what does that matter? Like I kick it down a flight of stairs as long as it holds the steel books. It's like people want to talk out of both sides of their mouth. They want to be like, the packaging doesn't matter. And then they want to say, well, that thing, all the steel books in there got scuffed and everything. People are saying that it's scratched and scuffed. Well, what fucking difference does it make then? If the packaging doesn't matter, none of that stuff matters. Shut up. Anyway, so uh the the picture quality on these things, don't let anybody tell you anything different than this. If anybody is, I haven't heard anybody talk badly about the picture quality yet. It's insane. It is. I watched some of the Blu-ray. I've got that crappy Blu-ray collection that came in, the only one that ever really came out, the one that houses all the movies in the same little box. It's 1,000 times better. It's sharper. The detail is more. The detail is. You'll see stuff like I'm watching part 5 right now. You'll see stuff that you never saw. I can read the books like behind them and everything. The darkness level with HDR is great. Like it picks up every like little minute kind of specific detail and like the colors, especially the night scenes. Fantastic. So I've watched part 5 and I watched part of part 3, and I know CK watched 2 and 4, I think. So I figured like between us, we should have a pretty good, idea of like what these are like. It's you have to have these if you're a Nightmare on Elm Street fan. If you're just a horror fan, man, like these are so much better than those Blu-rays. There's so much more to see. And like I said, really at the end of the day, the only thing people care about is does this edition look better than the previous edition? And on this one, 1,000 times more. Yes. I think even more than like the Night of the Living Dead 94K. This edition looks better. It's just there's some grain, but that's good because like you don't want like that AI run through crap where everything looks plastic. But there's in like a lot of scenes, there's a little bit of grain, but they've taken it all out from the majority of the film to where you can't even really like notice anything like that. So it doesn't look too fake and polished, but it also is really, really, really good. Um, and that's across the board on all these that I've watched too. So once I get further into it, I can give you like but I mean on 3 and 5, it's a crazy difference. And CK was saying he watched 2, I think, and 4 maybe, and there's a crazy difference in those two. So 100%. The audio, it's got Dolby Atmos and I think Dolby 5.1 maybe. Anyway, let me tell you about the special features. So disc 1, you're going to be here for a minute because there's quite a few. A lot of these aren't new, but like a couple of them are, like the shorter ones. Ready, Freddy, Focus Points, commentary with Wes Craven, Robert Englund, Langenkamp, Ronnie Blakely, Robert Shea, and Sarah Risher. Another commentary with Wes Craven, Langenkamp, John Saxon, and Jock Hyken. Alternate endings, The House That Freddy Built, The Legacy of New Line Horror, Never Sleep Again, The Making of a Nightmare on Elm Street, and Night Terrors, The Origins of Wes Craven's Nightmares. That's part 1. So part 2, special features, Freddy on 8th Street, Heroes and Villains, The Male Witch, and Psychosexual Circus. I believe there's a couple of those that are actually like new. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. You got Behind the Story Burnout, Behind the Story Fan Mail, Behind the Story The House That Freddy Built, Behind the Story Onward Christian Soldiers, Snakes and Ladders, That Showbiz, Trading Eights, and the Dawkins Dream Warriors music video. Part 4, The Finish Line, finishes in Rennie Harlan, I think. Krueger, Freddy Krueger, Hopeless Chest, and Let's Make Up. Meaning makeup. Part 5, you got Behind the Story Womb Raiders, The Sticky Floor, Take the Stairs, Hopkins Directs, and A Slight Miscalculation. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, special features 86th, Hellraiser, Rachel's Dreams, 3D Demise, which is the Anaglyph 3D version with glasses. And on the last one, New Nightmare, you've got a commentary with Craven, new Boiler Room Confessional, new Freddy's Footnotes, Becoming a Filmmaker, an Insane Trope, The Problem with Sequels, Welcome to Prime Time. There's like 1,000 Welcome to Prime Times on here. A bunch of different special features. There's so many I can't even go through them all. So there is another, like I said, there's another Steelbook set. It is, I think, a Zavvi exclusive that had different artwork. It was like $300 or $400. Um, at this point, I'm like to just say, like, I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing and shit on that one, like everybody else tries to shit on this one, because it could be amazing too. I don't think that there's a better value for what you get than this one though. Um, this one, like I said, was like $160, and every one of those looks freaking amazing, as does the box that it comes in. All the movies look amazing and sound amazing. I mean, to me, I don't even like Nightmare on Elm Street that much. Like, I'm much more in like the Friday the 13th vein, but I don't. This is exciting to me. I don't get excited about a lot of different things, but this set is outstanding. Warner Brothers amazingly did an outstanding job. Could they have put more special features on here? Yes, but at the end of the day, that there's already Never Sleep Again, and that's like friggin' 14 hours of special features or something crazy. So there's really not much more they can say about these movies. Would it be nice to have some additional commentaries on some of these? Yes, that probably would have been a good idea. I don't know why they didn't do that on all these movies, but they're not on here. Um, would it have been nice to have something on the back of each of the movies or somewhere in the movies that told you what the special features are? Yes, that's just a small gripe, but that would have been cool. At the end of the day, there's no doubt in my mind that this is the edition to have. Um, I'm sure there'll be people in the comments that disagree with me, and please, like, feel free to disagree with me vehemently and put it in the comments. Like, subscribe. There'll be more reviews and more, shows coming up soon. There's a show coming up on Thursday, which is it's actually pretty timely. It's a debate show about, should you rebuy a lot of these editions that are starting to get re-released by companies like Scream Factory and Severin and Warner Brothers and Sony. Should you rebuy all these editions, especially like a lot of these editions on, Steelbook and different things like that. So that's going to be an interesting show. I'll tell you 100%. I don't know if you should rebuy that stuff, but you should 1000% buy this. If you can find it, you should buy this and enjoy it profusely until you're sweating at your ball sack. So I'm Uncle Bill. Check us out over at DeadPit. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment, argue with me. Doesn't matter to me. Check us out at DeadPit on Patreon if you want to join. Got a great Discord going. Check us out over on our Into the Dead Pit on the Instagram page. But yeah, Freddy lives, bulls. Freddy lives.
A big thanks goes out to our supporters over at DEADPIT on Patreon.com. You can get hours upon hours of great content, right, Uncle Bill?
There's so many hours of content. We've got reviews. We've got songs. We've got live streams. We've got exclusive streams. We've got non-exclusive streams. We've got streams with all kinds of celebrities and all kinds of different old shows from the past podcast, the initial incarnation of the show. All of that can be yours.
DEADPIT on Patreon.com. Show us a little bit of love. Give us some money because we definitely deserve it. That Patreon page is so killer that you'll rub your bird to it on a nightly basis. It's that good.
You won't be able to contain yourself. You'll have to jerk your bird out and go crazy. I mean, that's how much content that we have. So much content that it's massive, and it will massively smack you in the face.
You'll play with your bird so much, pretty soon you'll be looking around for somebody else's bird to play with.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Filipino bitch, Miss Slatco Fudd, telling you about shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. And it's the best goddamn deal on horror shirts you will ever see. New shirts, old shirts, all the in-between shirts. God damn it, bulls, go over to shop.deadpit.com. You ain't down with that. You can go to fucking hell.